Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pixelmon Kingdom Episode 1, where I just caught my first Pokemon Trapinch. And I spawn in a desert biome. I'm looking at the other Pokemon around the biome and trying to think of what I want my team to be. The other starter Pokemon I had obtained from the tutorial, and so because of that, I don't want to use any of them. So Trapinch is really my first Pokemon and my starter Pokemon. When I'm walking around the desert, I immediately find what I find out to be a daycare, and I talk to the lady. I heal up my Trapinch, and then I get to work exploring the world around me, seeing what I can uncover, and I see a Larvesta, and I instantly jump out on the opportunity to catch that Pokemon. I mean, adding a Volcarona to my team would be a very strong addition and a wonderful second member. And I notice there's a large building behind with what seems to be trainers, but I immediately am focused on getting this Larvesta. And I was able to catch it, so that's pretty awesome. It's a new addition to my team. Now I kind of just do some exploring and look around on this first day to see what else I could find. I noticed there was a PC right next to the healing set, right next to the healing device. And so I go into the PC to release the starter Pokemon I got from the tutorial. But I come to realize that included in the Pokemon I released was my starter Pokemon. Uh, a Pokemon I actually wanted to keep because I wanted to eventually have a Mega Venusaur. So it looks like I really am stuck with just Trapinch and Larvesta now. And with that being said, it's time to train them up a little, huh? A positive event. I decided that I was just going to make a full desert themed team and build my kingdom right here in this desert biome. I usually build in grassy biomes or snowy biomes when I play Minecraft. So I wanted to try something new and really challenge myself. So after I totally got beat down by the wild Pokemon, I
Many hours later.
see if I could train my Pokemon up a little bit and get them stronger because they were both very, very weak. I decided to try to spawn one of the random Pokemon eggs I got as a reward, and out of it spawned a Doublade, which is amazing and sort of not really, but in my book fits the definition of a desert themed team. And I mean, he did, I did spawn him in the desert. So, but so I'm going to try to capture this Doublade. But it's level 48, so I really didn't think I would. But I'm just going for it because I'm so determined to catch it. I think an Aegislash is one of my favorite Pokemon. And I think it would be absolutely awesome to have one on my team. And it's already such high level. Eventually, I actually am able to catch the Doublade, and I'm very, very happy about that. And during all the time it took to capture him, it turned into night on the first day. So I decided to just do a little more exploring in the area and see where I wanted to build my base. I had to get this Numel out of here; it was blocking my path, and try to see what the nearby desert town looked like and what kind of Pokemon it had. And so I went into this training dome looking area, and I saw there was that level 30 rich boy trainer. So I decided to take him on because I figured my Pokemon now were maybe strong enough to take him down. I was very, very wrong. I literally get obliterated by this cast form. And then once Doublade is burned, he's pretty useless. And so once he goes down to the Gabite, I virtually just have no chance. I mean, my team just gets absolutely wiped by this Gabite. And I decided I was going to train my team up even more and seek vengeance on this level 30 trainer. But first, what I wanted to do was find new Pokemon to add to my team. And as soon as I walked out of the training dome, as you saw, I instantly locked eyes with a Houndoom. And so I decided that it was going to be my mission to quickly heal up my Pokemon and get that. When I pulled out the rewards that I had earned, I actually got a Pokemon, that golden Pokemon, Goldengo, which I've never used before because I didn't play much of. I believe it was Scarlet and Violet. It came out, and I never really played much of that. So I decided to save Goldengo for later and focus on continuing to build my desert team. Uh, so I wanted to heal up my Pokemon, and I really was hoping that Houndoom wouldn't despawn because once I caught him, eventually I planned on that being my Mega Houndoom since now Mega Venusaur is a lost dream. So I kind of just head back into town just to see if it's still there and see what else I can find along the way. But with this Houndoom, if I could catch it, it seems like this team is really coming together. Luckily, it actually was still there, and it was level 50. So I just had to add this to my team. I mean, Flamethrower, Sunny Day. I already have a Volcarona, but I could still make the team diverse, even with this Houndoom on my team. And they both serve obviously different roles on the team, or at least I'd like to think they would. But maybe that's just me justifying my love of fire types and adding another one to my team. So I'm just trying to catch this Pokemon and really hoping that it stays in the ball somehow, and then I get lucky. And it was on my first catch, so it was very easy. Now I have a Houndoom on my team, level 50. So it seems like we're really climbing already on the first night in the levels of my Pokemon. So I check out his moves, and I already know by seeing that. Clearly, there is some work to be done in the move department. And I don't know how training EVs work on the server, so I'll have to figure that out as well. A lot of this is still very new to me, so it's going to be just plain old trial and error, building this team up and creating what I would like to imagine would be my future kingdom. But before heading back to heal my Pokemon, I actually found a Gibble, which was absolutely incredible, pseudo legendary. So I knew that this would be on top, like a Volcarona, sure. Houndoom, okay. But a Garchomp, I mean, come on. Like, now my team is really starting to look stacked if I can catch this thing. And after a very long time, I was able to capture it. So yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that I'm definitely gonna need a water type or a grass type to round out my team. I don't know my chances of finding one in the desert area, but yep, just like that, I caught the Gibble, and I was very, very happy about that. But my chances of catching a grass type or a water type around here are pretty low. And I'm also trying to think of like what other Pokemon that would work for this kind of area. Like off the top of my head, I don't know, maybe Quagsire because he's water ground. It might seem like I don't really think that's like a desert Pokemon per se. It's more like a swampy area Pokemon. But I'm trying to think of like what a good water type Pokemon or a good grass type Pokemon would be to add to this desert themed team. If I could manage to do that at all. Um, but I was able to find an actual shopkeeper outside of the daycare, and he had a ton of moves. I mean, like an immeasurable amount of moves. So I actually had quite a bit of money, surprisingly, even though I just started. So I had to get rid of some items out of my inventory and see what I could purchase so I can teach them to the Pokemon on my team. And then eventually I sold them all. I bought as much as I could and went flat broke. I ended up buying a couple TMs more than once because it just seemed like my inventory was overflowing, and some of the TMs weren't like popping up in my inventory. So I'm failing miserably at teaching this Houndoom because I mistakenly was under the belief that Houndoom can learn foul play. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, why wouldn't a Houndoom be able to learn foul play? I always thought he could, so I was very surprised that didn't work. I thought I was doing something wrong, but So I taught Gibble sword dance.
Tripping, bro.
As you
You
can see,
tripping.
that was a very, very bad decision because I spent money on swords dance, even though I eventually came to discover that I could actually buy Dragon Dance off the shopkeeper instead, which would have been so much better of a move. And you can see that Caps Kid there, he's a grass and fire type, but as you can see, I already have 2 fire types on my team, so I don't think that would be a good move. Now I'm desperately trying to sell 20 rotten flesh so I can actually earn a little bit of the money back that I just spent. I'm definitely going to have to beat up on some trainers, including that level 30 trainer I need to get revenge on, and eventually collect enough money to be able to buy better TMs. So when my Pokemon are right of age, I can teach them great TM moves and eventually challenge my first gym. So I'm looking for new TMs, but I don't really seem to be able to buy much now, and that's it. So yeah, that was day 1. I'll see you in the next one.